We're at round 10 of the Gncc, the Mountaineer in Beckley, West Virginia. I'm lined up on the third row. I'm signed up to race the 50A, the Masters class. In the front row, we have the pro women. There's about 13 of them. And on the second row is the Sportsman A guys. There's about 30 of them. And to our left is the 45A guys. And we will be the fourth ones to take off today. This is the morning class. There's about 450 riders out here getting ready to tackle the track. Good luck, Nick. This is going to be one of the most technical tracks so far this year. Some say even more technical than snowshoeing. I was back and forth many times whether to run the 4-stroke or the 2-stroke, but I'm on my 2020 Beta 300RR, and it's awesome off the start. I missed the gear there, fell a little behind, but I think it was a good thing. That way I did not overshoot turn 1 and actually got the whole shot for the first time in a long time. So far, so good. 2 strokes streaming pretty good. This dirt is very hard, and right off the bat, there's a few times I about lost it. We had a little wood sections before we came back out into the very few areas that we had trackside pitting. We're getting ready to drop down into the very first rock garden. I had my line picked out, and then at the last minute I decided to take the upper line. I was thinking the bottom was going to be quicker. Richie guaranteed me it was 20 seconds slower. He said he had 2 hours of studying it, and that I should take the upper line. So I took the upper line and had no problems. It's good to have friends. I'm going to try to get you, actually I will get you a complete first lap. That way if you race the race, you can show your family and friends what the track was all about. As I come up the hill, had some good friends there rooting me on. It's always good. I come across here pretty hot and heavy, and I hit this way too hard. I learned right there, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that. It bottomed both front forks and rear shock completely out. I haven't ran a lot of Gnccs. I think this might be my third one for the year. Third or fourth one. I broke my collarbone last year, and I've not really been able to get out and run 2-hour stuff. I've been doing some locals, Mountain State Hare Scramble, New East Coast, and I'm mostly focused on US Sprint Enduro. They're a little shorter sprints, and also the SXCS series. If you're in Maryland, Virginia area, that's a good series to check out. But I've had a lot of shoulder pain that has not went away since I broke my collarbone. I got a plate in there, but is slowly getting better. I actually went out and practiced 2 times last week, and that's very rare. Back when I was running Gncc the full season, probably 2 or 3 evenings out of each week I would go out and at least get an hour in. I haven't been able to do that this year. Just trying to get healed back up. And this is about the best I've felt. And this is about the best that the Beta 300s felt. I've had some suspension issues since I've gotten this thing, but I just want to give you a heads up. If you have a Beta or any other motorcycle that has a piston in the rear shock, check into getting a extended bladder for that thing. I didn't realize that it had a piston in it. Not real familiar with what's inside of shocks. I've tore a few forks apart in my day, but I guess what happens, it gets hot and that piston quits moving up and down as freely, and when you change it out with a extended bladder, the bladder just claps and takes the piston out of the whole equation, and it's helped a lot. But it's going to have a challenge today. As you can see, it's very rocky. Austin Hovatter and myself went out and e-biked the entire track, and at the end of the amateur or morning four-wheeler race, it wasn't looking that bad, so I thought I'm going to run the 4-stroke. There's a few of these little creek crossings that got kind of bad. I got a little confused there where to go. Pulled it back together. But I went back out after the pro race and was looking at some of it, and talking to Jared. He raced the afternoon race, and he said it got a lot rougher, if that's a word, more rough, a lot rougher. It got worse. The track got worse from the time he started the race until he got off the race track. It got a lot worse. So I decided to go with the 2-stroke, and I'm glad I did. It's a little lighter, catching a lot of traffic right off the bat. The only class that are ahead of me on the first lap is the 30 Open A or Sportsman A guys, the Pro Women, and the 45A. 45A doesn't have a big group. I would say probably 10 or less. The only problem with that is usually everybody in front of me is usually pretty fast. So if I'm catching them, it makes it a little difficult to get around them because they're pretty close to the same speed as I am. At this point, I'm still first. I haven't led a Gncc for quite a while. Actually, I think John Penton last year was the last win. And actually, that was the very first race with this Beta. That has been the last time I think I've led a lap with the Gncc. Bike's feeling pretty good. The first mile, I was slipping and sliding out on the hard dirt out where the grass was. That seemed to be more difficult to get traction out there than it is here in the woods because it's packed down so tight. But then some of the rocks and stuff felt pretty rough at first, but after about a mile or so, either I got used to it, got settled in, and the bike actually started feeling pretty good. Just trying to be smart, get around as many people as I could without crashing, and keep the camera clean so you all can see what round 10 at the Gncc was all about. As you know, we have to use the chest mount, or we can mount it on anything except our helmet. I've been adjusting on it. I think I got a pretty good view. It's just a little bit low. I was so determined not to get my helmet on the top part of the video bouncing around. I think I got it just a little bit too low where there's too much of the bike bouncing around. But the AMA, you know, they're out for safety, but they've definitely made it difficult for us to get you good video. That was a 45 plus guy. They have a bright green sticker on their helmet. The women, Pro Women, has a bright neon pink sticker. And I'm not sure, I know the Sportsman A guys, it's a double collared sticker, but I'm not sure what colors they are. And I am 50 plus. I've got the bright neon orange stickers. And so far, luckily, you don't see any. Because they're all behind me. And if you're curious how fast we're going, actually the good thing about the angle of this camera is you can see my speedo quite often as we're running through the woods whenever it's not bouncing so much. If you're ever curious how fast we're running through the woods. But this angle also shows you how much your arms. You hear us complaining about arm pump. If you're like, oh, he's always complaining about arm pump. Well, look how much this bike is bouncing around, and you're holding on. You're working your clutch. You're working your throttle. You're working your brake. Your bike's doing a lot. Well, there was somebody behind me, and I moved over right there to give them a chance to get around me. Well, you'll see him here soon enough. He's in my class. I can tell 450 when I hear one. And as I've always said, you can't pass somebody by following them. So sometimes you really have to try other lines. But when you got somebody in your class behind you, that gives them opportunities to get around you. I believe this is one of the pro women ahead of us. Trying to make a safe pass. Looking for other options. They're trying to run their own race. Usually they're not too bad. They'll hold up a second or so, but you can't expect them to pull over and just wait for you. I actually really enjoyed this track. This is the kind of stuff I like. And at this point, I feel pretty good. The bike feels pretty good. My body feels pretty good. No arm pump. Just trying to be smooth, not make no stupid mistakes. I believe this is another one of the pro women. The track had pretty good flow. No turns really caught me off guard. A few times the back slid around and caught a tree, and there's a few roots here and there that would catch me off guard. I think I was going like 25 through that section there. I was trying to keep an eye on the speedo, but it's kind of hard because I'm moving around too much. If you race this race, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you liked it. A lot of people thought it was really rough. I felt it got a lot worse towards the last lap, but that could be because about a lap and a half I felt pretty good. About halfway through the second lap, it felt really rough. This is the rock garden. This is one of the worst rock gardens the morning class had. I mess up here in one spot. Right there. I tried to force the bike somewhere it didn't want to go. Got jacked up a little bit, but then I hit my line that I had picked out when Austin and I rode the track. Worked out okay, but the second lap it won't work out as well. It was pretty crowded down there in the bottom section. There was an upper line to the right that came open. Had a lot of elevation change, but nothing too crazy. And I always want to let y'all know, in case you've not watched one of our videos, we are Trail Seeker Adventures. And what we're all about, we bring the camera along with us on all our adventures, whether it's hiking, mountain biking, snowboarding, downhill mountain biking and snowshoe, at a ride park. We've been Croom Motorcycle Park in Florida, out west riding. We've been to an indoor motocross park in Butler, Pennsylvania. We've been to several of the Hatfield-McCoy trails. If you're just curious what those are all about, that's why we bring our video camera, so we can show you what it's all about, what the area has to offer. We try to get all that information in the video, that way you can watch it, figure out if it's something you're interested in before you even get off the couch and load your bike. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel if that's the type of stuff you like to watch. But today we're at a race event, and this is the Gncc, the Mountaineer. And if you was looking for a challenge, this would have been the event to check out. If you're in the West Virginia, northern West Virginia area, we race our local series. It's the New East Coast and Mountain State Hare Scramble. If you're in the Virginia, Maryland area, check out the SXCS or the Sprint Cross. Those are the series we mostly ran this year, besides 3 or 4 of these GNCCs. First lap, normally I don't have a lot of traffic, but we were catching quite a few riders throughout the first lap. And this is where I make a dumb mistake. That is a bright orange sticker, and he just passed me. That's the 265 of Mike Grizzle. I went to the bottom line because somebody went to the top line, and sometimes that does not pay off. I try to always think ahead. If somebody's ahead of me and if they mess up, I don't want to be behind them. But sometimes when you got somebody behind you that's in your class, that is an opportunity for them to get around you. But now I know he's in my class, and I gotta twist that throttle and try my best to keep up with him until I got an opportunity to get around him. Mike is the points leader for the 50A, and that's one benefit of the two-stroke. I've had it done to me. These two-strokes, you cannot hear them when they're behind you. Sometimes the Japs, if they're a little louder, you can hear a Jap two-stroke. But the KTMs and the Betas, the Huskies, they're all pretty quiet. And at this point, he probably knows I'm back here, but after a while, he probably forgets about me, and that gives me the opportunity to just stalk him until he makes a mistake. Gncc has mile markers. That was mile marker 7. That first rock garden, that was around mile marker 1. That one that we just went through that was pretty tough, that was at mile marker 5. And that is helpful in many different ways. In one way, when you're talking to your buddies about where you're at, trying to relate, but also if there's somebody hurt, which my good friend Bob got hurt at this track last year. It's a good way to let people know where the injured rider is. So you should try to keep in mind there's a hole out through here somewhere, maybe right there. That hole right there just killed my shoulder when I hit that. It jammed my arm, and I'm like, man, I need to remember where that's at. And I come around the second lap and hit the exact same hole. But after that, the third and fourth lap, I knew where it's at, and I did not forget about it. But that caused me, as you can see, I was right on him for a while, and then I hit that hole, had to slow down and recover a little bit. Well, my shoulder was killing me, but you can't never give up. He's going to make mistakes in areas you don't. You'll make mistakes, but if you stay consistent and try to keep up with him, it's better to have that visual. He'll hit an area and mess up, and that way you can have an idea to watch out for something in that area. So following somebody in your class is not always a bad thing, unless they're really holding you up. He's rolling through the woods pretty good. I don't think he's slowing me down. Now coming down through here, I saw another line. He went to the right, and yeah, he got around me because I took a line trying to avoid traffic, but I used it and I got back around him doing the same thing. He went to the right, I seen a line to the left. I can't pass him by following him, so I just took an option that paid off for me. Now this is some of the single track that the Gncc laid out for us. Austin, this is the single track I was talking about. And this little uphill right here, as you can see, we had no problems. Just went climbing right up through there. The second lap, there was a lot of people that had problems right there. And it wasn't that the hill was so steep. It had like a gravel, real loose stone all over it, and if you got stuck or stopped, I don't think you could take off. But we'll see that on the next lap. As I was saying, I am going to get you a full lap, and then just some of the highlights of. I think I only got about 2.5 laps before my battery went dead. I believe we had about a 10-mile track. They took a little bit out for us. I guess it got pretty rough with the four-wheelers, afternoon four-wheelers. I think my first lap was 30 minutes. But close your ears if you don't want to have a spoiler alert. I do get slower every lap. But at this point, I'm first. I went back to second. I worked myself back up to first. This little uphill will be a very important part in order for me to save a position. I'm not going to spoil it right yet, but somebody passed me and they passed me. I passed them back, And on that last hill climb, I seen somebody struggle on the main line, and there was a left line. And I went up the left line, and I think the guy that I just passed back, he followed the other guy up the hill climb, and I think that's what happened, but I've never heard him again after that. So I think he either got stuck or had problems on that hill, and that was the last time I saw him. Let me try to get some names here. Dave was the guy in the Kawasaki. I'm not sure if I got video. He was ahead of me there for a while.
Oh shit.
About crashed there at the mile marker 8. I don't know what that was, but after that I looked every lap to see what about took me out there, and I never did see anything there. So I don't know if somebody moved it, but there's plenty of things in this track that can put you on your bottom. Some of the main players in the 50A class Masters, obviously you have Mike Grizzle, Billy Ackerson, Dave James. He was this guy in the Kawasaki. I think we battled back and forth a few times at the John Penton. Chuck, he's on the Honda. We battled a little bit at Snowshoe. Everybody's pretty cool. Billy Evans, talked to him on the line a little bit. He said he hasn't been able to ride very much, but there's Jeff Ford. There's several different ones that come out, and all pretty cool guys. That's one good thing about racing the woods. You line up to them, up beside them, talk to them, best of friends. But once you get out here in the woods, as I found a line that I picked out for e-biking, the only thing you want to do is beat them. You don't want to hurt them. You just want to beat them. This upper line, I actually never got to walk this. Richardson lost his rear seat there on the Pro Foilers, and Austin went up there and grabbed it, and he took it back to his pits. So this is about the 8.5 mile marker, and it's fast. Let's see if we can see it. I see him in the 30s. Yeah, almost 40 miles an hour down a log road on icy, slimy clay mud with rocks and roots that you can't see. Not the smartest decision, but whenever I twist the throttle out on these tracks, sometimes you don't think too smartly. Smartly I'm sure is not a word. But we dropped down here to a checkpoint. Through a creek, and this got really deep throughout the day, and you'll see on the next lap that there's a line to the right that develops that helps keep us out of the mud. These ruts got pretty deep, but with this rock base, none of them really got terribly. I was surprised. Actually, they got better, because the foilers, they made 2 ruts, but as the race went, this is below the first mile marker rock garden. We're coming back towards the finish. I think the pros had Monster Mile right there. We didn't get to go play on the Monster Mile. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but these rocks on this road, you really have no choice but to stand up. This is where Heidi and Tiffany and Jordan and I stood there and watched the pro bikes come through. They make it look so easy. Love hearing people root me on, whether they know me or not. It's good to have people to holler for you. Hope you twist that throttle a little harder, at least in that section. This is another one of the fast road sections. Looks like around the 30s. But the fastest we got close to 40. Last little hill climb coming up to the finish. And as I was saying, this will be the first lap, and then the rest of the video is just the key areas that people may have had trouble as I was making my laps. Some bottleneck areas. But that was one lap at the Gncc round 10, the morning race. I'm running first so far, but I do slow down. Right there, I was giving my arm a little rest. Hey. Nice little jump there. Some different lines through the woods, getting rooted on. Coming up to my pit area, I see my wife Heidi rooting me on with Austin cheering me on. And now we're coming back in the first rock garden. You gotta stand up and look smooth, because this is where everybody came to watch, as you can see. My daughter Tiffany and her boyfriend was there, so that is one place I didn't want to make a fool of myself. And if you remember the first time I came through here way too hot, nope, learned my lesson that time. Okay, so here I'm going to get past. There goes Mike. Made a very bad decision there to try to get up around that guy. Mike went just a little bit lower than me, and unfortunately that is the last time I think I seen him. Don't know that I caught him. I've been behind Mike a few times, and he's very smooth. He rarely makes mistakes. That's why he's the current points leader right now. I pull over because I hear somebody behind me, and well, there goes another bright orange sticker at the 5 mile marker. And that is Billy. I keep up with him for a while, but I think I make another mistake and then I lose him. This is about where my shoulder started to act up a little bit. I couldn't force the bike. I had to let the bike bounce around. Anytime that I would try to force the bike to do something, like if I wanted to make a real hard turn there, it would just make my shoulder ache. So I just basically had to back off a little bit, because I knew I had 4 laps. This is only halfway through the second lap. And here's that rock garden at the 5.5 mile marker. I do a little mess up here. I think this is where I do just a little hesitant right here somewhere, about the same area I screwed up the first one. Now we're up above the rock garden. I'm trying to get up here because the bottom left is completely packed with riders. And just like that, don't think I seen him the rest of the day. On the third lap, I got passed by the Kawasaki guy named David James. We battled back and forth a few times, and he's the one I think got stuck on a hill climb.
Whoa, whoa.
Somebody's got a hot one. And I think he has a Trail Seeker Adventure traffic kit. I couldn't get his number to see who that was. But if you watch this video, I'm sure I know you, but I just don't recognize your bike. I have several people that likes the traffic kit on my bike, the Trail Seeker. You'll probably see a few of them out there. But we sold so many of them. You can get our decals through Limited Decal. You can check them out. If you see the Trail Seeker 1 and the box trailer, that's where those decals came from. I get my t-shirts from them. I get my bike and folder decals from Trail Seeker, from Ford Trail Seeker Adventures from Limited Decal. They're awesome to work with. And basically the way it works, you get a discount as long as Trail Seeker Adventure is your main logo, but you can pick whatever color you want, whatever sponsors that you want on there, whatever number you run, Gncc badge, whatever you want, just as long as Trail Seeker Adventure is your main sponsor. Here is where that hill climb I was telling you about got slick. I'm over here in the Greenbriers, and as you know, the Greenbriers across the face is never a good thing. But I get through, I didn't get stuck. Now I gotta get the Greenbrier off of my bike without poking myself, without crashing. But yeah, if you're looking for custom graphics for your bike or your box trailer or even t-shirts for your race team, check out Limited Decal. I get all my stuff through there, and if you like watching Trail Seeker Adventures and you want them to be your main logo on your radiator shrouds or whatever, call Limited Decal and they'll give you it's a 25% discount. Just tell them you're with the Trail Seeker Adventure crew, and you can customize your graphics however you want. So this is the new line that came. He went down. He didn't see the new line, but here on the right, this actually was where the checkpoint was, and they had to move it out to the road because it got so bad. We're coming back up close to the Monster Mile, even though we didn't have to run the Monster Mile. This is me taking every line except the straight line to try to find a way around this young man. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. There you see the mile marker 10. As we're getting ready to go up the hill to the finish for round or lap 2. not sure why I'm getting so much wind noise. I did have to put a foam pad behind the camera between my chest protector and the camera because I kept hitting it off the handlebars or the gas tank or my kneecap or something and pushing it back, and all you can see is my nose hole. Just so you know, it's past my bedtime and I'm trying to get this video out for you, but so I don't know if that's causing the extra wind noise. We're coming in for Heidi to give me a quick bottle of water. She did perfect on the handoff. Unfortunately, I made the straw way too short and I couldn't get it up into my helmet to my mouth. But now we're back down into the Mile 1 rock garden, and now we got traffic. This is the ditch that I overshot, and then I come up here and I seen this line that I was wanting to get the last 2 laps, but I just about crashed trying to get it. So that is the type of stuff that I was trying to avoid, because that's the type of stuff that was making my shoulder hurt. We're back into some traffic. Thanks, boys, pointing out a good line for me. It's always good to have help out here on the track. Try to get as many people that I see on the track on these videos as I can, but there were so many people, the video would be 2 hours long. It's already going close to 45 minutes. Some people don't like long videos. The way I look at it, if you don't like that part of the video, you can always fast forward it. That's usually what I do. That's a perfect way to have somebody to pass you. Just hold your line and point to the direction you want me to go. Now here I make a dumb decision. I seen this line I thought developed through here. Well, there was a log laying in the middle of it. There goes Dave. Let me make sure. Yeah, Dave James. As you can see, it's another one of them bright orange stickers, which means he's in my class. But I will get back around him, and he's the gentleman that I think on a single track got stuck on a hill climb, and then I didn't see him the rest of the day. We'll see how I get around him. To be honest with you, I forget. But basically, out of 450 riders or so, I ended up, I think, 32nd overall, which I'm okay with that. If I was in a little better shape and I can get this shoulder to feel a little better and last a little longer, I think I can get back up there to where I used to be. I finished 3rd in the 50A class. Mike got 1st, Bill got 2nd, I got 3rd, Dave James, which is the Kawasaki gentleman right in front of me, he got 4th, Tommy got 5th, Chuck got 6th, Billy Evans got 7th, and I think we had 13 in our class. John got 9th, and Lane got 10th, Jeff 11th, Rod 12th, and Jonathan 13th. Had a pretty awesome day of racing. Time with my family and friends. Heidi came down and watched and helped out. keep up with David here. For the life of me, I cannot remember how I got back around this young man. He's picking riders off left and right. I guess the camera goes dead before I actually get around Dave, but I do get around him. I can't remember where, but if this is the type of stuff you like watching, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. That helps me know that I'm doing something worthwhile out here. Thanks for all the support out on the track, whether it's in the pits or out on the track rooting me on. I 100% appreciate all that. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe by going to Trail Seeker Adventures on YouTube, or you can push the subscribe button in the middle of this page. Thank you.